And I want to tell you now because it complicates my life. It complicates my life. I've had so many countries that wants to host 2028. I've had so many countries that wants to host the African Nations League. And I think one thing I must tell you quickly about that is, in 2029, we're going to have 54. It's important because 54 African nations, 54, participating in the African Nations League. All the players from overseas will be involved. They will be taking place during the FIFA window. So can you imagine Nigeria playing Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire playing Cameroon, Egypt playing Morocco, Kenya playing Tanzania. So all over. But what we're going to do is there's going to be one country that will be identified as you are the host. So even though in the FIFA window, the whole of the continent will be playing. Let me give you an example. Assuming we say Nigeria. Nigeria, you are going to host African Nations League 2029. You are host. So what we will do is, whereas and Nigeria is part of 16, I don't like that zone as the president of CAF because it's got the best football. All of them are excellent. But you've got Nigeria playing Ghana. You've got Cote d'Ivoire playing Cameroon. It's not good for us when it comes to the World Cup because somebody's going to exclude somebody else. And I want all of them to compete with the rest. But the point is, we now go 2029, we say Nigeria, you are the host. So what will happen is, in Nigeria, the 16 nations that are part of West Africa will all play in Nigeria. They'll host them during the FIFA window. But all the other zones, there'll be a draw there. So you might find South Africa playing Zimbabwe. The draw will decide where they play. Kenya playing Uganda, the draw will decide. Egypt playing Algeria, the draw will decide. And then the winner, because that's going to take place between September and October, the winner of each of the zones will then come to Nigeria. They'll come to Nigeria to play against the winner of the West African zone. And that contest will then determine who the champions are. We've looked at what happens worldwide, and you've got to learn. You've got to see what has worked in other parts of the world, what has failed, and make sure that we implement what is the very best. So you were asking me about, has South Africa, has Tunisia? I'm going to have to do, CAF is going to have to do something that, in strict compliance with the FIFA and CAF statutes and regulations. I mean, I've got heads of states who are phoning me. I don't decide. It's the CAF ExCo that decides. But what I'm clear about is the quality of your infrastructure has to be worldwide. That will help you as well succeed. So what we're going to have to do is to say, okay, Senegal, you want to host the next Africa Nations League. Ethiopia has put in a bid. Morocco has put in a bid. Angola and others. Can we allow Senegal to host it now? And then the next time we will give Angola a chance or Zimbabwe a chance. But you've got to have the infrastructure. And then the next time, because we've already given Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda the AFCON next year, let's give Ethiopia 120 million people. I want to develop football here. And then we go to the north, we say, let's give Egypt or Algeria or Tunisia a chance. So I need to give everybody a chance. But where my life becomes complicated is when Ghana comes and says, everybody's offering 100 million, I'm going to give you 200 million. And whilst Ghana is talking about 200 million, Kenya says, I'm going to give you 300 million. So I've got to get a balance. Because I need to build infrastructure facilities throughout. There's still some countries in Africa, they don't play in their country. The national team and the football clubs don't play in their country. You cannot develop football if the fans and supporters of a nation cannot watch their national team or their clubs. So part of my focus now is to make sure that in those countries where they still play outside, this $1 million and various others, we say, now listen, that money has to go to upgrading your stadium. You've got to play in front of your supporters and your fans. I'm happy that we show football on TV all the time. So you're 100% right. We've got so many countries, and not just that, what makes it even more is, I've got 3 countries that says, I want 2028, I want 2031, I want 2035, I want all 3. And because I want all 3, I'm going to give you more money than anybody else. And you must be careful. Money is important, but life is never only about money. It's never been and can never be only about money. But I need the money for infrastructure, for young boys and girls, for stadiums, for schools, for football pitches, and for making sure that the infrastructure in the stadiums are working.